Hello everyone, welcome back. My name's Rochelle and this is another episode of the Mindset series where we're talking about how becoming successful can be so boring. Continue watching if you want to be successful. So essentially what I mean by success is boring is the consistency and discipline and systems and routines and everything like that required to become successful is huge. It's immense. It's enormous, the amount of work and repetition you have to put in to gain a result. So when we look at a lot of people and a lot of online success, it's easy to think that this happens overnight and that we can achieve this overnight as well. And for some people, yeah, it has happened overnight. You know, there's been people who have gone viral and, you know, that's kicked off their entire business, which is fantastic for them. But for the majority of people who are building an online business or trying to be successful, even in real brick and mortar business, becoming successful comes from years, sometimes months, but years of hard, consistent, repetitive actions and work that gets us to our end results. So essentially we do need to have a plan of what we're trying to achieve, what our business is, or even if it's not a business, what our success is. And every day we consistently need to be taking actions towards that in order to become successful. We're not going to wake up one morning and just be like, wow, we're successful, everything worked out, we have $1 million business and I can go on all these holidays and travel the world and all these fantastic things. That's never going to happen, right? Like the work you have to put in to get that is huge. And why I say that's boring is because it can get boring. You're going to be repeating the same actions in a way that's obviously working and that you can see is getting you results. But you are going to be doing this for years or months in order to produce that result. Because how can you build a business? How can you build a brand? How can you build success without consistently showing up, showing your audience, showing your buyers, whoever it is that you need to be successful, who you are and what you do, right? You can't just post one video and expect that the whole internet's going to be obsessed with you and you're amazing. You need to show everyone, show your audience that this is your brand, this is what you're selling, or this is the information that you're giving them, this is the value you're adding to them, in order for them to acknowledge you and respect you and see you as an authority and see you as someone who they would like to follow along and watch more videos from, or purchase an item from, or learn something from. And that can be boring, I'm not gonna lie. And when we think about the people who are successful or the people who are winning in our eyes, what you probably don't notice is the small things behind the scenes that aren't actually that glamorous, but are helping them to be the most successful version of themselves and to achieve those bigger results. So these are things like maybe they meal prep and eat the same meals every day. Maybe they do the same workouts and train on the same days every week. They stick to routines and they know exactly what they're going to do at what time. So they have time blocked calendars. They know when they're having their lunch break, when their next work block is, when their next meeting is. They know everything planned out. And these people are essentially what they're doing is reducing their decision fatigue, right? The fact that everything is so meticulously planned allows them to be able to save their mental energy, to conserve their mental energy for bigger decisions, bigger, more important decisions that are going to actually lead directly to the direction they're going. And this is why I really love seeing those Instagram versus reality sorts of posts, because what you see is just the tip of the iceberg, right? And like, I know we all know that, but like, do we really acknowledge that and understand that what we're seeing and the successful people we're seeing, although they are successful and they're doing amazing, is their life isn't necessarily this glamorous thing all the time, right? Like there is plenty of times where their life probably looks really similar to what you would consider a boring life, where they're repeating the same things over and over again to get their desired result. Or they're repeating the same things over and over again because it's easier and they're saving that energy to use it on more important things and things that are actually going to move the needle. And when I talk about moving the needle, I'm talking about moving or taking an action in the direction that is really going to make a big impact towards your result. Not silly little things that aren't really going to matter to the end result. Like we're talking about actions that are going to really push us towards achieving what it is we want. So if you're grinding right now, you've got a posting schedule, you upload a certain amount of times a week, you go to the gym certain times a week, you meal prep or whatever it is, you have these boring aspects of your life, you're probably doing the right thing. You need to continue doing these things to get the results. You need to continue on this path. You need to repeat, rinse and repeat until you achieve your desired result. And this applies to so many areas of your life, so many areas of success. And remember that success isn't necessarily flashy all the time, that there is going to need to be work from us in order to get a desired result. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.